I want to now welcome our guest for this hour, National Trial Attorney Michael Jaafar. And Michael, waiting for the jury to be seated, tell me your thoughts and if you think the prosecution is continuing to really connect Chad or not to these murders.
They're doing a good job connecting him to the murders, but I've got to tell you, Judge Jesse, I'm very impressed with John Pryor. He's poking holes in every single thing they try to close up. I think he's doing a fantastic job. What we just witnessed earlier reminded me of what my mentor said in my first ever felony defense trial. He said, even if you know a question is going to be objected to or not, you want the jury to hear the question, not necessarily the answer. And I think we just saw him basically exhibiting that in front of us.
That's right. And in trial skills, they teach you cross-examination is for the jury to hear the question you're asking. It really doesn't matter what the answer to it is, to your point. And I agree with you. And one of the witnesses, Michael, described Chad Daybell as very nice and meek. And if I were doing the closing argument, boy, would I highlight that. This is my meek, nice client. You heard it from the witness. But watching Chad and his lack of emotion, lack of activity, so to speak, sitting there at the defense table, what do you think the jury might be thinking of him?
I think they came into this case with a colored opinion of Chad Daybell. There's no such thing anymore as true jury sequestration in the O.J. Simpson days. It's just not possible. Judge Ashley, I will admit, I think I'm the last person on earth who still believes that he has a chance at winning this case, at getting an acquittal. I think I'm the last person on earth, and I know that the evidence against him is overwhelming. But I feel like his attorney's doing a great job. And honestly, if you really step back and think about it, there's technically no smoking gun right now that he orchestrated these murders as opposed to being an accessory after the fact. Again, I don't like his chances at acquittal, but I still believe that the way, because he hasn't put on his defense yet. We still don't know what they're going to say. His attorney, reading the tea leaves, they've got some fire to come back at when they are putting on their case in chief. So I still believe he's got a shot. It's not looking good, but I believe he's still got a shot at an acquittal on all charges.
And I do agree with you that A, they haven't put on their case. B, there's some good defense attorneying going on here. And so there's always the chance the jury might acquit, to your point. Absolutely. Michael Jaafar is the national trial attorney. What do you think, Michael? Because I have to tell you, when I listen, I'm like, he absolutely is involved. He's back there thinking, why didn't it work? And that's maybe not what juries are going to think.
I think the juries are, this is not going to play well for the jury, but the jury they have him in front of them, right? He's sitting in the courtroom. And before this trial started, I remember a vlogger opining, hey, we've noticed that he doesn't even turn to look at his attorney when his attorney shows him a piece of paper. He just moves his eyes like an owl and looks down at the piece of paper, doesn't move his head, right? So I was like, hey, I'm learning more about this guy than I would like. And he seems like a very odd person, not odd in a bad way, just odd, just a different type of demeanor. So he's in that courtroom with that jury. They're looking at him right now, right there. He's in front of them. So I think it's kind of going to be on brand, Judge Ashley. He's going to be, this is painting him to be on brand. Whether or not the jury likes that brand, no, there's going to be some emotional people in that jury that say, hey, if this happened to me, that's what juries do, right? If this had happened to me, here's how I would react. So I think a lot of jurors are going to say, yeah, I wouldn't have reacted that way. I would have jumped and lunged. I would have done X, Y, Z.
Yeah, on brand. I feel like he is not an active participant in his life in any respect, which leans into the defense. And I want to bring in to talk about it Michael Jaafar and Judge Ashley Baker, because I think we all feel like, wow, listen up, because the credibility of this witness, Michael, let me start with you, out the window, starting with the supervisor told him after Tammy's death, I want you to redo your report and put more details in it. More specifics, I think was the word.
Judge Ashley, I am a junkie for awesome cross-examinations. All of us as young, budding defense attorneys, when we come into the practice, we all lie to ourselves and say, I'm the best at cross-examination in the world. Nobody has a better cross than me. And then we give it little funny, simple terms. We don't even call it cross-examination. We say, I have a killer cross. That guy has a killer cross. John Pryor, in my opinion, did the best cross that I've seen in a decade, and that is enviable. He can put that on his website and sell future clients who are accused of a crime and say, hey, hire me and you'll get this. This was an amazing cross-examination. It was almost as if it was choreographed by the other side. It obviously was not, but it looked like they choreographed it and said, hey, we're going to beat your client on a case here in a few years, but we're going to give you a little bit of a marketing nugget here so you can market your services. What an amazing cross-examination. He destroyed the credibility. It could not have been better. This is textbook movie-style cross-examination.